Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, November 18th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol PLTR, the fantastic movement continues. There was a bit of a pullback here, but today you can see got a nice break upwards, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched past videos because I did put in that resistance line right there. But you can see opening 30 minutes price came up there, got the beautiful break of that level right there, and then made a fantastic continuation. So I'll go ahead and get rid of these lines as they've essentially all served their purpose for now, and we'll just start afresh here with some of the key levels. And one of the newest levels is what I would call the ideal support. I mean, if you say, hey Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? And that would be if the price can say up here above $63. Now, let me be very clear. If the price falls below 63, that does not mean the entire chart's epically destroyed or anything like that. But if the price can stay above there, that would certainly be a great sign of power. From the bigger picture point of view, just keep an eye on that purple line right there, the 50-period simple moving average. Keyword being moving, because I understand the price is way up there. This line's down here. But as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher and get more and more relevant. So if you do care about the overarching viewpoint, as long as the price is above that purple line, then the bull is 100% on the chart. In terms of areas of resistance, nothing fancy here in terms of logic, just the question, where did the party finally stop today? And that was right there at 65.37, so that'll be the main battleground headed into next week. Next one, CERO. This is a little tricky to talk about because there's multiple perspectives that go into it. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 20 minutes, well then yes, from that perspective, the chart looks really, really bad because yes, there was indeed a very big pullback from that area. But if you care about the big picture point of view, then everything is still perfectly fine. And to illustrate this, let's say the price goes down actually a little more and goes, somewhere right around there. Now, emphasis here on big picture. From the big picture perspective, what would you still have? Well, you'd have a set of lows there, you'd have lows there, you'd have lows down here. And then if you envision each one of these as stair steps, what do you have? Well, you'd have stair steps still making progress in the upwards direction. Again, I'm well aware that if you're a day trader that bought right here, you do not care about these overall stair steps. But that's why I'm trying to distinguish between more so a day trader versus someone that cares about the overall chart. So sure, the price did pull back from those highs, but from the grand scheme of it all, the price does still have plenty of opportunity to build a higher base, and that is the name of the game. In terms of areas of resistance, main battleground to watch if there is any sort of attempted move back upwards, right there around 39.5 cents. But like I said, assuming you care about the bigger picture point of view, the bulls are still in control. Next one, SPPL, and overall started off very impressive on the day, had the gap up, and then spent the early part of the day working its way all the way up there. And then yes, there was a pullback. So once again, one of these scenarios where it depends on perspective. Day traders buying up there, yeah, not a very good day for you. But if you care about the bigger picture, the price is still maintaining above the key levels. What are these key levels? Well, the near term area is that purple line, which you know now is the 50-period moving average. You can actually see this morning during opening 30 minutes. Didn't hit it exactly, but got relatively close. But point here being, for those of you that do care about the big picture point of view, you want to see the price stay above that purple line. But definitely the do or die level is that pink line down there, the 200-period moving average. So I'm not saying that's what's, this is what's going to occur. But if the price were to go down and break below that pink line, that'd be a big red flag that something is broke. But as of now, even with the pullback here, the price still has plenty of opportunity to build those higher bases. And that's what ultimately matters. And to just kind of illustrate this out a little bit more in terms of areas of resistance, you can see that this area right here around the $1.80 mark has been a pretty annoying level. You can see right there, rejected, rejected, and then today rejected. That's not to say $1.80 can't be broken, but it is to say that for whatever reason, there are a lot of sellers hanging up around that level. Next one, AREN, and I like the pattern here that has been formed on this one, so let's just get right into this pattern. So there we have our resistance trend line. Here we have our support trend line. Let me change that to green just because I can't help it. Let's try to make these, there we go, more so even with one another. And then to make the pattern easy to see, let's just put it one color now. So we have our resistance, we have the support, we have the big upwards move right here. For you golfers out there, try to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something's in a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. But would it be shocking? Would it catch anybody off guard if the price breaks through that level and then finds a burst of momentum with the breakout? No, that would not catch anybody off guard. Once again, that does not mean it's for sure going to happen, but it's a logical thought to have. So if you like this price range down below $2, you like bull pennant patterns, keep an eye on it. Next one, NVDA, and this one had a very rough day today along with the overall markets, but for quite a while this thing had been doing a fantastic job of just bouncing back and forth within this channel. But today the channel was broken, and then even more levels were broken. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete those lines out because we have more near-term levels. And the nearest level to watch now moving into next week is going to be that pink line there, the 200 period moving average. And this is just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken. And you can see right here, tried its best to act as a support, but when it was finally broken right there, that those areas tend to act as resistance, and that's essentially what's going on right here. Sure, the price has not hit that pink line exactly, but it's gotten right up within the vicinity a couple times and is now starting to go sideways. That's not to say that line can't be broken. I'm just saying it makes sense why the price is struggling at that level. So going into early next week, key battleground will be that pink line there right now valued at 147. We'll call it 60. In terms of levels of support, no need to overcomplicate this. Just a question of where did the bleeding finally stop today? And it definitely took a while for the bleeding to stop, but you can see right there at essentially the $140 mark, both there and there, the price hit that area before getting a bounce back upwards. So if there is any sort of bounce back downwards, then you get a valid question of, okay, is this going to be some sort of double bottom pattern where you have bottom one and then it comes down there and bounces again? Again, no guarantees. Risk management matters, but that would be a plausible way of approaching it. So overall, NVIDIA, rough way to end the week, but we'll see if next week it can start to recover or not. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering next week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down below in the description box, or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free training. Next one here, ticker symbol TSLA, Tesla, and a lot of these other stocks, the downtrend continues. And I had another trend line in here, but I want to put this because I think it's doing the best job now. Well, not think, it certainly is when you look at how the price has behaved today. So by connecting that point and that point, look at how it did a good job of forecasting. Not exactly right there, but right there the price did bounce right off that level. And then it's essentially a double whammy of resistance, because even if the price were to break above that red line, then not that far away at all, you have that purple line there, 50 period moving average. And this is the one dynamic is it's been a long time since a 50 period moving average has actually had a downward slope to it. Now, that doesn't mean the end of the world, but it is a big change that has not happened for quite a while. So yes, over the past several days, Tesla has remained in this downtrend, and the downtrend remains in full effect. And if you don't even have to throw that trend line in there. If you just want to measure the downtrend as that purple line, meaning as long as the price stays stays below the purple line, then the bears are in control. That's certainly a way that you could go about it. In terms of areas of support, still have this level down here at $300. Price didn't come, really anywhere close to testing it today. So definitely keep an eye on that. But I also want to give Tesla a little credit. Like you look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA had a disastrous day today. But Tesla still was able to bounce upwards and not have any sort of explosive move, but did at least, show some signs of strength, even though it did still put in another lower low within the trend. But like I said, compared to some of these other stocks out there, and given the context of the overall market, Tesla had itself a respectable day. Next one, STI, very nice pattern here. So I want to respect your time as much as possible, and we'll just get right into this pattern because you've already heard me talk about it on a previous one. But we have our area of resistance right there. And then as far as the lower trend line, I'm not even going to use a trend line. I just want to use that pink line right there, 200 period moving average. You can see it's already done a fantastic job of behaving as support. So to just keep it one color, we'll just kind of extend this line out. It'll look something like that. We have the downtrend line right there. We have the huge explosive move right there. We have the golf hole down here. So we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. I'd say the biggest difference here is this one just happens to be a penny stock. So either that's a really good thing for you, or you despise penny stocks and you wouldn't touch it. But, got to remember there's a variety of traders that watch these videos. So that's why I like to try to keep a good variety within the selection out there. But for you, those of you that like penny stocks, like bull pennants, here you go. Next one here, AMZN, and had a rough day today for sure. But to be fair, and to at least look at the glass as half full, did act very respectably from a technical point of view, and maybe you know where I'm headed with all this, But check out the pink line here, which you know now is that very well-known 200 period moving average. And it did a fantastic job of ultimately respecting this as support. Now, you had a couple of fake breakdowns both there and there. But after, each of those recovered, did not last very long. And now you have some sideways movement there. And then on top of that, you got some nice upwards move. Now, there's definitely a whole lot of work that needs to be done, but at least there is a bounce, which leads into an exciting question. Is this the start of something even bigger? Now, to be fair, maybe it's not. Maybe this thing all of a sudden decides that it's going to just roll right back over. Totally possible. Like I had mentioned earlier, that's why risk management matters. But that is a two-sided coin because, maybe this is the start of something bigger, and this thing's getting ready to go on some sort of epic bounce. The key distinction here is at least something has happened. Think about the question. It makes no sense to say, is this the start of something bigger if nothing even happened? But something has happened here. It has started to bounce. So is it the start of something bigger? Let's see what happens with it next week, so grab your popcorn. Next one here, BENF, and this is maybe the ugliest chart in the market today. I guess I can't say that for sure, but there's no doubt about this. This is a very, very ugly looking chart, but for those of you that are longtime viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly. So let's just quickly gauge the context of things. Gap up, price was all the way up here, and then has dropped all the way down here. Ugly, ugly move, but what I find interesting is at least it's got some sideways movement. Now, let me be very clear. Just because something's going sideways does not mean for sure guaranteed the drop is over. My point here is it becomes at least plausible. It becomes rational to say, okay, it started to go sideways. Maybe, just maybe, this thing is getting ready to head back up. Case in point, let's just say that the price was looking something like this. Still dropping, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like this could be the bottom. You'd be totally justified to say, wait, what are you talking about? The price is literally still going straight down. Why would you say this is the bottom? But that's not the case here. It has at least started to go sideways. And this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have experience. But sometimes when a stock gets beat down this bad, looks this ugly, it can have some very worthwhile bounces. Now, I'm not calling for a reversal back up to the highs, but even if it, bounced back up to right there before going back down, from a trader standpoint, that distance right there, there's a lot of opportunity in there. But this is also one where you better be a disciplined trader. But if you can be disciplined, then you can certainly structure yourself a very attractive risk versus reward scenario. So if you like these sorts of opportunity in the ugly circumstances, yeah, it doesn't get any really more ugly than this. Next one, TQQQ, brutal move on this one today. And not necessarily because it was a red day, but just from a technical standpoint, it's been a long time since the price has been down below that pink line there, the 200 period moving average. But you can see it started slightly above it, but once it was broken, the floodgates opened up and down it's gone. So that's just my long way of saying if there is any sort of attempted bounce, I'd be very skeptical of any bounce until at least the price can get up above and stay above that level. So, yes, it could bounce. I'm not refuting that. So you've seen like that. I would still be very skeptical of a dead cat bounce where I could just as easily see it roll right back over. But if it can get above and stay above that pink line, that still doesn't guarantee anything. But it would cause me to say, okay, I think this is more than likely a legit bounce and not a dead cat. But just because it bounces a little bit doesn't mean that you're out of the woods. So I would use that as kind of the marker in terms of whether something is a truly strong bounce or not. In terms of next areas of support, next key level is going to be right down there at essentially that. Okay, so it got close today, didn't quite hit it, but $73, which was essentially that gap close location right there. Like I said, price got very close to that right there. In fact, kind of hard to even see it. There we go. So that's where that level is coming from. And then in the event that level doesn't quite hold up at 73, next key level of support down there right around the 71.30 mark. But no doubt about it, rough way to end the week, but we'll see if this thing can try to curl back upwards next week. I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a moment, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here, then definitely go get signed up for the free live class. It'll be next week, Thursday, November 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. And also, as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these and you want to support the channel, a super easy, free way to do it, please just hit that subscribe button. That really helps out and goes a long way. So thanks for watching. Now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now on the 4-hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 4 hours. And that's because Bitcoin's open 24/7. And in order for this analysis to remain relevant all weekend long, I want to talk about a longer time frame and then walk you through some questions. And based on how you answer those questions, that'll keep this relevant for as long as possible. So as right now, Bitcoin doing very, very well. And we get to ask ourselves a very exciting question. And I'm a little jealous of those of you that are watching this, Saturday, Sunday, because you're going to have a much better idea of this question. But as of right now, there had been this pretty stubborn trend line. No doubt about it. It just continued to reject the price down, reject. But as of right now, you can see the red line has been broken. So yes, what do we get to ask now? Is this the start of something bigger? So a lot of common sense is going to go into this. So if you're watching this video, Sunday afternoon and the price is now, all the way up here, well, that's telling you that obviously Bitcoin is having itself a very nice weekend because this breakout has continued. Now, maybe you're saying, actually, Clay, the price, it didn't explode, but it's not really above that line. And I would say this, as long as the price is above that line right there, so let me change that to green, then as far as I'm concerned, Bitcoin is having a fantastic weekend because even if the price, does pull back and doesn't break out and it's, down around here, it's still in the very near term building those higher lows. Now, if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is also down below that trend line right there. Okay, well, where's the price at relative to the purple line? And I highly doubt you're answering the question is down below there. But if it is, well, then, yeah, that still doesn't mean that Bitcoin's destroyed. But it does raise a little miniature red flag. I'll call it a miniature red flag. But even that, it's not the end of the world because the price would still be well above that pink line. Now, if somehow you're saying, well, actually, Clay, I'm watching this and the price is down below there, that's where that miniature red flag becomes quite a bit bigger. Again, not the end of the world, but something that would be like, okay, wait a second, how is Bitcoin all the way down here? Like I said, I highly doubt you're answering it that way, but just in case. But all in all, like I said, a big, exciting question right now as I record this. Breakout has occurred. Is this the start of something bigger? We'll see what happens. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin trader and crypto trader to definitely get signed up for this free class because what you will learn about can and certainly should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto. So as mentioned earlier, it'll be next week, Thursday, November 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. And like I mentioned earlier, if you enjoy these top 10 videos, please hit that subscribe button, a super easy and free way to support the channel. And as long as your support, it allows me to continue to, create videos like this. So if you enjoy, please just hit that subscribe button. So have yourself a great weekend. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and definitely go get signed up for that free class.